Nothing fake around here. You want to come up and step in with these boys, you're going to get hurt.
We got to combine basketball, hockey, football. You got to be able to dribble the ball while you're getting hit. We some of the best athletes in the world.
You are 170 inches off the ground in slam ball.
Oh, that was assault battery. That's on your mama, boy.
You gotta have desire. You gotta have no fear.
You just gotta have a screw loose playing this.
You gotta have big balls for that position.
Now that's a pop.
Heart, soul, just throw everything out on the court.
It's game time.
This is slam ball.
No crybabies in here, man.
I love visionaries. I love dreamers. I love entrepreneurs. I love people who take action on their passion. Wrap that all up and you have Mason Gordon.
My name is Mason Gordon, and I created SlamBall in a little warehouse in East LA in December of 2000. I always had these ideas of a sport that felt more like a video game.
Here's this guy who was, what, 28 years old, an intern from Mike Tolan, big film director, movie producer, and he's drawing on a napkin this crazy idea he had called SlamBall. Most people would take that napkin and put it in an ashtray and say, get out of here, kid.
I finally took a look at it, and it was great because it was, first of all, it was original. It wasn't sort of a bastardized or scaled down version of an existing sport, which is the case of a lot of startup leagues.
I would go around to these gymnastics facilities and try to get spare parts, and I ended up building the first SlamBall court in East Los Angeles, and a couple kids wandered in off the street. We didn't really think much of it, but the next day they came back and they brought about 20 friends with them.
I was one of the first 6 that were in the little warehouse when it was one tramp, one spring bed, the long way, one basket, and a lot of splinters. A lot of splinters on the floor.
Well, the first court wasn't a pretty sight. I mean, at one point, I think one of the players actually fell through the floor. I got some real engineers in there, and they gave me some good feedback on what to do in order to make the court structurally sound. The first court really only had one spring bed, and from there we learned that you really need 2 spring beds, one for the offense and one for the defense. From that court we finally settled into our final configuration, which is a defensive trampoline and 3 perimeter offensive trampolines. And a lot of different players found all these different ways to link and combine those opportunities on the court into more and more complex strategies.
That led us to put together a full court, multi-tramp experience.
All of a sudden, I'm looking at this surreal atmosphere where all 8 players on the court look like Michael Jordan. They're all above the rim, and there's contact. It was way cool.
They're not really sure what they're doing, but man, this thing is kind of awesome.
Mike Tolan called a friend of his, and they came down, and we immediately got a television contract right there in the warehouse.
The first 2 seasons were exciting because you saw Mason's dream come to reality. You saw these players with these high-flying, slam-dunking, quick-moving, hard-contacting activities right there in front of you.
I think the most important thing about the first season of SlamBall was that you really saw guys emerge that were just born to do this. They were born to play this game. And then the second season, we found this amazing group of top-tier defensive talent, and they really stepped up where the bar was for you to be able to score and score consistently. And some people were able to meet that bar, and some people weren't.